All right, welcome back, welcome back yet to another episode of the Sports Desk Live. I am your man's one more time, Dedrick L. Hicks Jr. It is what it is. This is what it's gonna be. You don't pay the rent here, so mind your manners.
I'm Mr. Move Them Chains, and I'm here to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if you don't like it, cut the stream off.
There it is. There it is. All right, man. So we are back. We're back for some college football talk. We're going into week 3, and we had a really good week of college football games last week, man. Of course, you had the highlighted games of Texas knocking off Michigan in the big house. You had number 5 Ohio State, well, then number 5 Notre Dame go down to Northern Illinois. What a shocker. And then you had, what's going on in Colorado, man. Shedeur Sanders and that offensive line absolutely took it to the woodshed with that old school term by the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And I tell you what, this kid, Iola, it's something to watch. It's just something to watch what they're going to be able to do in Lincoln, Nebraska. But we're here for week 3. Shaw, we got quite a bit of games to get into. So let's go ahead and tap in. And again, thank y'all for watching, subscribing to the channel, showing the support and the loves, liking the videos, liking the shorts that we're doing. We're just trying to breed consistency here on the Sports Desk Live. So keep rocking with us. All right. So first game on the slate. It burns me to do this, but I have an announcement to make. But I'm going to let Rashad go ahead and go first. We have the former Fighting Mike Norvell's. That's right. The Memphis Tigers headed to Tallahassee Doak Campbell Stadium, Bobby Bowden Field, where they would take on the 0-2 Florida State Seminoles, who are a 6.5-point favorite against the 2-0 Memphis Tigers. Shad, talk to me. What are we looking like with this game here on Saturday?
I think the book is out on Florida State. I think all you have to do is run straight at them. I think this defensive line is the biggest fraud probably in the history of college football. People were told that this was going to be the best defensive line in the country. And I think they've given up like 300 yards a game or like close to 300 yards a game on the ground. It's been atrocious, man. I don't know if we're going to see Brock Glenn in this game, but I believe it's a possibility. It could happen. I think that the leash is very short on DJU, and this could be the game. If they struggle in the first half, maybe in the first quarter of this game, he might get 3 drives at the most. And if they're down 10-0, he's coming out. They got a quarterback named Seth Hennigan. He's probably going to be the best quarterback that they've faced. I don't know. I think that Memphis can win this game. Until proven otherwise, FSU is going to struggle in ACC play. Memphis 23, FSU 10.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. They can't score, D. They can't score. They couldn't score against Boston College.
Okay. All right. I'm not here to combat anything. I'm here to make it announcement. I'm a Florida State fan, and I refuse to wear any Florida State gear. You can call me what you call me, but I'm not black. I am D. All right. Shout out to Black who couldn't be here with us today. Look, it's embarrassing, and I am that fan. Not going to take too much time here because we got a lot to cover. But if Florida State goes 0-3 to start the season, which I believe they've never done before, to my knowledge, that they've never started the season off 0-3. If somebody knows different, correct me down in the comments. It's all good. But if we go 0-3 and DJ Uluglier starts and finishes his game, and Mike Norvell stands by as a bystander, like he's not one of the reasons why this car is driving out of control, I will abandon the Florida State Seminoles live on the next show. I will reveal my new team, who I will be cheering for whatever lease that they allow me to cheer for them. If you know me, I've done this before. I'm not brand new to this party. I cannot stand for mediocrity. But here's the thing with me. It's not the fact that we're losing. Don't get me wrong. Losing sucks.
Yeah.
But ain't nothing being done about it. The same way we look versus Boston College is the same way we looked against Georgia Tech. I'm talking the same thing. And we actually had a few extra days to prepare for Boston College and Kyler Murray Jr. They're giving us the business. But I'm going to stand in the paint. I'm going to take Florida State to get the win 23-22 by the skin of their teeth. 12 o'clock kicking Doak Campbell. The new fighting Mike Norvell's beat the old fighting Mike Norvell's 23-22 to get their first win of the season. But remember, if Florida State loses next week on the Sports Desk, I will reveal my new team. Say what you want. Say what you want. All right. Let's go ahead and move along to the next game. I know Black somewhere steaming, baby, when you see this. But let's get to an interesting game on a Friday night, man. We got the 20th ranked Arizona Wildcats heading out to Kansas State to heading out to Kansas State to face the 14th ranked Wildcats. The Kansas State Wildcats are a 7-point favorite in this game at home. You get your little Pac-12 Big 12 mashup. Looking forward to this game on Friday night. What you thinking, Rashad?
Hey, listen, they got a quarterback named Avery Johnson that they really like out there.
Yeah.
Dual threat quarterback. But I don't know what's been going on. They struggled against Tulane last week.
Yeah, on the road.
I don't know how you're the 14th ranked team in the country and you struggle against Tulane. Arizona came out throwing the ball like I don't know what in the first week. Had a receiver that had 300 yards receiving. I never heard of no mess like that before. 300 yards receiving. Two high-powered offenses. I don't really know how this game is going to go, but I know the points are going to be aplenty. Give me Arizona in the upset, though. 34-31.
Yeah, you're kind of reading my mind. Now, Avery Johnson, I like this kid. He was a top recruit coming out of high school, went to his home state of Kansas and stayed at Kansas State and playing there for the Wildcats. I'm very intrigued by this game because I like these inter-conference matchups. So Big Ten play Arizona is – where is there? What ain't in the pack? Where are Arizona at? Now, damn, I'm tripping because it ain't no more Pac-12. It's the Big 12, Arizona's in the Big 12. So this is a Big 12 matchup. See, this ain't your granddaddy's college football. It's going to take some time for us to kind of sink our teeth in and say, hey, this team is here and this team is there. So correction, this is a Big 12 conference matchup. My apologies. Now, fireworks offensively. I think a lot of points are going to be scored. I'm looking for the two quarterbacks. I think his name Fafita. Sorry if I butcher his name, Noah Fafita. And then we have Avery Johnson from Kansas State. I think this is going to come down to a fourth quarter game and who doesn't have turnovers. And I'm going to go with the kid from Kansas State. I think that Johnson is going to be able to man the ship. I just like his poise, even though they didn't play the best versus Tulane. But if you've ever been out to Louisiana and been to Tulane, that's a raucous crowd, a low-key, tough place to play. They got a lot of young talent out there. Basically, a bunch of kids who couldn't get in LSU, they ended up at Tulane. So these kids can play. But I'm going to take Kansas State and an edger 38-35 on a Friday night at Kansas State. Give me the Wildcats to get the win. So I'm going to be very locked into that game on a Friday night. All right, let's move on to another interesting matchup. We do have another conference matchup here. You got the mighty Alabama Crimson Tide, the fourth ranked team in the country, going out to Wisconsin. Okay, I've never seen this matchup as far as them going to Wisconsin. So it's gonna be cool to see it visually. Alabama out of Wisconsin, but the Crimson Tide are a 15.5-point favorite, Rashad. What are we thinking with this game? Can Wisconsin hang around? Or does Alabama do what Alabama do?
Alabama's going to do what Alabama does. I know Alabama struggled last week. Both of their tackles were out in this game. They had one that they brought in the fourth quarter, and they scored 3 straight times. I think both of the tackles, from what I can see, both of the tackles are going to play in this game. Bama has better athletes than Wisconsin, of course. Bama's going to win this game 33-17. They're going to cover. It's not going to be hard.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think the pageantry is going to be cool to see with Alabama going out there to Wisconsin. And Wisconsin, I think their stadium holds 100,000 people. So it's going to be a sold-out jam-packed stadium. This is I believe this is a night game according to the schedule here. But I tell you what, this is something where I don't know. I think this is going to be interesting. No, so this is a 12 o'clock kick in Wisconsin. So I'm going to take Alabama to win. I think it's gonna look like it did last week when they faced South Florida. I think that Alabama has recently, even under Nick Saban last year before they moved on to the brand new head coach, they kind of been starting slow in the first half, and then as the year goes on, they kind of pick up speed like they did last year. So I think Wisconsin's going to hang around now. This is one thing you got to know about the Badgers. They be having the trenches right with that offensive line. They got some 6'6", 6'7", 400-pound cornbread steak and milk monsters there. They're there, and they always keep a decent running game, and they always keep a healthy offensive line. But what has been Wisconsin's issue over and over again? Offensively, that's all they are. For the life of me, I've never seen Wisconsin spread out and do anything for a 4-wide or a 5-wide and make things interesting. And that's where when the game kind of gets on the tipping end to the third and the fourth quarter, I think Alabama's speed, I think Alabama just being more creative with the play calling just kind of separates themselves. I'm going to call for the Alabama Crimson Tide to win this game 31-17. I think they pull away late in the third into the fourth quarter. 31-17, Alabama gets the win to stay unbeaten. Okay. Let's move along to an interesting game in the SEC. You have a 1-1 LSU, who's a 7-point favorite, headed to South Carolina, who was 2-0. Very shocking win with South Carolina beating Kentucky the way that they beat them last Saturday in dominant fashion. Very surprised by that. Shaw, talk to me, man. South Carolina, LSU. What we thinking?
Listen, South Carolina riding high right now.
They are.
You say, Kentucky beating Kentucky last week.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen that coming.
Nobody.
Going to Kentucky and beating that team the way they did
handedly.
Nobody's seen that coming. 31-9, I believe it was. D.
Handedly, yes.
I mean, and LSU struggled last week against Nichols or whatever. Nobody even knows how to pronounce nobody even knows how to pronounce the team. So
right.
They shouldn't have struggled against that team, but They did. They pulled away late, just like Bama did. But I think it's different. Their secondary has looked bad.
They have
in both games.
They have.
Don't know how DBU, formerly DBU, doesn't have any DBs. I don't know how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game, I mean, South Carolina crowd can make this game difficult. If they get going, D, it could be a long day for LSU. It could. I don't trust them right now. Not what I've seen out of their defense. So I'm going to give South Carolina the upset 24-17.
Wow. Man, you got the guts to do it, man. You had the guts to call this upset, man, but I don't. And here's the thing. The speed of LSU and just Brian Kelly, he kind of gets himself together as the season goes on. Yep. He did it last year. He did it the year before at LSU. I mean, so this is his third season at LSU, second season. No, third season.
Second season, I believe.
Yeah, one of us is right, one of us is wrong. But last year in particular with Brian Kelly, slow starter. You saw it at the Florida State game. They made it come back to make it very interesting with Jaden Daniels. But then as the season went on, the offense really started to improve, and they finished the season very decent last year. This is going to be another situation, but this is a trap game for sure. South Carolina's riding high. They have nothing to lose. No one was expecting them to do anything this year. They're 2-0. This is, what time is this kick, which is very interesting. So this is a 12 o'clock kick as well. So it's a midday game. But, man, I'm going to take the coaching here. I'm going to take Brian Kelly. I'm going to take LSU to escape with a win. I'm going to go 28-26. 28-26. LSU gets out of there with a win. I think they have the better quarterback. I think they have the better scheme. And in these SEC matchups, man, lately, as we've seen with these offenses in the SEC, they're kind of opening things up. They're spreading you out. The ball's getting down the field. And I think LSU has the potential to do that more than South Carolina does. So that's what I'm going to give LSU the narrow escape, 28-26. to 26. All right, Rashad, let's head out to, man, interesting game. Another interconference matchup. You have the 24th ranked Fighting Kyler Murray Juniors, Boston College, headed out to the 6th ranked Missouri Tigers, who are a 16.5-point favorite at home against Boston College. Rashad, you see any potential here for the Fighting Kyler Murray Juniors to get the upset?
No.
Okay.
They are playing the 6th ranked team in the nation.
All right.
Missouri looks good. I don't think Missouri has allowed a point all season. In their first 2 games, they played nobody. But I mean, if you're shutting people out, that means that you're pretty decent.
Yes.
They're averaging 285 yards rushing a game, but I don't think you're going to do that against Missouri. And that's probably the only way that they can do it, because they don't really have a passing game like that. So give me Missouri 31-14 at home.
I think this game's going to be interesting in the first half.
Maybe.
I think the person who I'm referring to as a Fighting Kyler Murray Juniors is Thomas Castanelos. I know I'm butchering his last name, but if you watch him play, he looks like Kyler Murray. He looks just like Kyler Murray in a Boston College uniform. Is fascinating to watch. I think this game's going to be close in the first half, but then again, Missouri's really building off what they did last year. Missouri had a good year last year. They had some big wins last year as well. They almost knocked off Georgia. No, did they knock off Georgia last year?
They almost knocked off
They
Georgia.
almost got them. I think Georgia made a late comeback, but they almost knocked off Georgia. So this is a good football team. And they got a lot of vets, seniors, upperclassmen on this team. This is the year that Missouri can make the college football playoff. They very well could, but I just think they're just going to have a little bit more talent than Boston College. I do like what Bill O'Brien has done with Boston College, of course, embarrassing my Florida State Seminoles on Labor Day night. But I just think it's a little bit too much talent here, a little too much veteran presence here with Missouri. They get the win at home. The kickoff of this game, I'm always interested in the kickoff of college games. It's like they really matter. So this is a 12:45 kick, 1 p.m. kick on Saturday. I don't think Missouri covers, though. The 16.5, all you betting people out there, I don't think they cover the 16.5. I think they win, but I don't think they cover. But I'm going to take Missouri to get this win. Man, I'm going to go 31-20. 31-20. I think Boston College makes this a little more interesting than the experts think. All right, but I'm going to go Missouri to get the win. All right, let's move along to our next game. We got early rivalry, and this is really weird due to the breakup conference of the Pac-12 being no more. Thankfully, we're still getting this rivalry for those who are really tapped in. But you're going to get the 9th rank. They keep plummeting in the ranking. I think they start off in the top 5, and now they're plummeting all the way to 9. But you have the 9th ranked Oregon Ducks headed to Oregon State, all right, in a Civil War game very early in the season. I'm kind of upset about it, Rashad, because I do watch this game. This usually comes on the weekend of Florida State, and it comes on like if Florida State's the later game, then this comes on early. It's cold, it's foggy, it's rainy, it's nasty. But now you're getting this game in Corvallis when it's a decent summer day, going to look a little bit different. But what are you thinking? Can Oregon get on track like people have been saying that they would be with Dylan Brooks as the quarterback, or do they fight for their lives yet again?
I think they can get on track. I'm going to trust a top 10 team to get it right. I know last week it looked real fluky with Boise State. I think they won the game by 3. They had a fumble return for a touchdown. They had a special teams touchdown to win the game against Boise State as a top 5, top 10 team in the nation. That shouldn't happen.
Right.
But I'm going to trust top 10 recruiting athletes. I understand the Beavers fans are going to be real upset about them leaving. Who cares? We trying to make money. We don't care about none of that. So y'all can be as fired up as y'all want to be. But when that ball get kicked off, none of that is going to matter. Give me Oregon 42-17 in a rout. They just don't have the athletes.
On the road, you think they really open it up?
On the road, because they haven't done it all year, D. And if they don't do it this week, I'll never pick them again to rout anybody. It's not going to matter. But if you telling me that this is a top 10 team in the nation, I've given them a couple of struggles, but at some point they're gonna have to show and prove that they top 10 with the speed and the recruiting that they have. Dylan Brooks at quarterback. This is supposed to be a team that's supposed to be a playoff team. So if you're a playoff team, you should be able to go in the Beaver Stadium and win a football game running away. They don't have the athletes that you have.
Man, I wanna roll with you, man. And if you know me personally, you know deep down inside I have love for the Oregon Ducks. I've always had the uniforms and all that. It's just beautiful, beautiful scenery with what they have going on in Eugene. But I'm very concerned about this game in Corvallis. I hear everything you're saying, Rashad, and it's all of it's true. But where is the grit? Where is the fight? Where is the heart from the Ducks? Now, Boise State's not a pushover, but my God, it took all of that to get a win. You start off a top 5 team in the country, and now you're the number 9th ranked team in the country. You're continuing to plummet. So how much of a top 10 team are you?
Right.
Dylan Brooks has come in with Dylan Gabriel has come in with a lot of hype. Heisman front runner to start the season. Loving what the coaching is doing in Oregon as well, but I'm going to say they survive yet again. I think they survive. I'm going to go 33-30. Oregon continues to escape, and they get on path offensively, but my worry is them on the defensive side. They look awful.
Yeah.
They look awful on the defensive side, and they really haven't started Big Ten play yet. What are they going to do when they go to Michigan and Ohio State? What are they going to do? It's going to be fascinating to watch, but I'm going to take the Ducks to survive, coming up out of Corvallis, 33-30. This is a 3:30 kick. Both teams are 2-0, rivalry game. When you're dealing with rivalries, you can throw the records out the window. A lot of these kids know each other. A lot of these kids probably played together in high school and all-star games and Pop Warner. And these kids know each other. So it's going to be fascinating to see, but I'm going to roll with the Ducks to get the win 33-30 out in Corvallis. All right, so one more game left on the slate. Very interesting here. All right, you have the 1-1 Texas A&M Aggies headed to the Swamp to take on the now 1-1 Florida Gators. All right, so talk to me, our resident Florida Gator fan here, Mr. Moodham James. What are we thinking? Does Florida stay on track, or does A&M steal one in the Swamp?
It won't be a steal because the Florida Gators are probably the worst team in college football.
Oh,
but one of the worst coaches in college football. Okay. It is what it is, D.
Okay, coaches, I give you that.
It is what, and it's not the kids. I don't want to say it's not the kids. It's the adult.
Ooh.
He's awful. And I'm going to tell you, he's the one adult.
Okay.
So I don't expect Florida to do anything against any team. I think the only win that they're going to have this year was against Sanford last week, because this idiot is talking about playing both quarterbacks when he had one quarterback throw for 460 yards last week.
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
Yeah, man.
You're paying this kid $1 million a year for NIL money. This kid won Gatorade National Player of the Year, and we're having a conversation as to the play because Mertz is a senior. What are we doing? We got he hired some idiot that looks like he's like 25 years old as defensive coordinator. He ain't did nothing since he's been in Gainesville the last 2 years. Now, listen, the game should be played on PBS Kids because Texas A&M lost to Notre Dame, which lost to Northern Illinois. Yeah. So obviously, these two teams ain't worth a damn. So that's what they should have did. They should have just played it on PBS at like 9:45 in the morning. Nobody's going to be up. Nobody's going to watch this crap. But Texas A&M is going to win the game because the Gators suck 31-21. And I still love the Gators. I just want them to fire Billy Napier.
Boy, you can't make this up on the sports desk, boy. Boy, I'm telling you, that might be top 5 moment on the whole channel. Because I didn't expect you to pick Texas A&M to win.
For what? Why wouldn't I?
No, I just didn't expect.
What have the Gators done in order to gain any respect from any Gator fan for anything?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. And we're going to find out Saturday if this team has been able to get on the horse, so to speak. The Sanford game is what it is. All right. They did what they were supposed to do. Lagway looked pretty good. He got some reps. I don't understand the dual quarterback thing. Graham Mertz needs to sit down. He needs to sit down. It's Lagway's time. If Billy Napier wants his job, he should play DJ Lagway the entire way. And let's see what the kid really has up against a really formidable opponent in Texas A&M. Let's not get it twisted now. Texas A&M was just a top 15 team a week ago, before they lost to Notre Dame. Like just a week ago, they were a top 15 team. So this is a really good football team coming in here with some solid coaching. But to the game, I think this game is going to be close. I think Florida will fight. I think Florida will make it very interesting. This is a 3:30 kick on ABC. So this is a midday game here, late afternoon game, excuse me. So I'm going to go Florida with the win. I just got to think Lagway is going to get a little bit more burn than maybe what Napier's leading on. Graham Mertz, did they name Graham Mertz the starter for this game?
They haven't named the starter. He's just talking about both of them are going to play.
So that's my thing. It's like if he's not naming a starter, that's leading me, because we're at the recording of this is Tuesday evening. So it's leading me to believe that if he hasn't named the starter immediately, because if Graham Mertz is healthy, then if you're going to name him the starter, he would have named it the starter, like right after the game. But DJ Lagway was really, really good, and you have to see what you have there. So I'm going to take the Florida Gators in a very ugly ball game here. I think this is a 23-21 game. I think you see a lot of turnovers here. I think you see some miscues here by both teams, but I do think you see a lot of fight from both teams. You got two 1-1 teams. Florida knows what it is. A&M knows what it is. SEC play is just getting underway. I think these two teams are early enough in their seasons to show some fight. Winning can do a lot of things no matter who you beat. And both of these teams are coming off wins. They're coming off wins. I'm not calling for a national championship appearance from neither one of them, but just this game in particular, I'm going to take the Gators 23-21, and I want to see the kid DJ Lagway get a little bit more than split time from Graham Mertz. Okay, that's what I want to see. All right, so big fun weekend, college football. Again, this is not your granddaddy's college football. We'll be locked into the game, seeing what's going on. Be sure to look out for our recaps of the games and our shorts on YouTube right here, where we recap the games and give our thoughts and opinions on the college football weekend. So let us know down below in the comments, what are you looking forward to seeing? Do you disagree with us? Do you agree with us? What are your takes? What are your thoughts on week 3 of the college football season? Again, we'll be here all season long talking about all the big time games and all the games that maybe some people aren't necessarily talking about. That's what we're going to do here on the Sports Desk. All right. So until next time, y'all be cool. Y'all be safe. Y'all take care of yourselves. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Show some love to these kids down here in Duval County trying to make some noise with a sports channel. All right. Consistency is our goal, and that's what we promise to do this season. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace.